It's been a long journey from the moment I bought my first MacBook Air back in 2015 to this new M5 model. The quality has taken a massive leap in every single way. But here's the thing, the MacBook Air is no longer Apple's more affordable laptop. It's also not the only one capable of handling the daily tasks of a normal person in the macOS ecosystem. So the question is this still a good investment? Let's find out. This new M5 version is exactly what it sounds like, a cheap upgrade. And not much else, to be honest. But that means more performance. The M5 chip now features 4 super cores instead of the old performance cores, making them even more powerful. Memory bandwidth is up from 120 gigs to 153 gigs, which makes everything feel snappier. The base model now starts with a 512 gigs SSD instead of the 256 gigs we saw in the M4, though it does come with a $100 price hike. We also get Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 6. And that's it for this year, because everything else is identical. The same 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, the same display, the same speakers, the same everything. Now, until recently, it was easy to say, if you have an M1 or an M2, it's time to upgrade. But now there's another candidate that makes way more sense for the vast majority of people. And there is the MacBook Neo. And bear in mind, I'm talking about the masses. I'm talking about the lawyer, the accountant, the person who only uses a computer for simple tasks, the person who doesn't even know what RAM is, and it's okay. So they go to the Apple Store and choose the laptop with the color they like the most, because any computer does what they need. And they are the majority. So if you're watching this video, you're likely right here with me in the minority group. Now, I've been testing this MacBook Air M5 for the last 3 days, doing all the usual stuff, like answering emails, web research, watching YouTube, scrolling social media, writing in the Notes app, everything most people do daily. And for that, no surprise, this computer is incredible. The problem started when I tried to do power user stuff. Well, not even true power user level, just things that demand a bit more from a machine. In my case, that's video editing. Sorry for not mentioning other use cases, but this is my reality. So I took a 5-minute YouTube project with just a few layers of motion VFX, and that's when things started to get ugly. To put it simply, if you want to edit 4K footage shot in XAVC as 10-bit 4:2, do color grading, audio treatment, and add even a few effects, you better think twice. Because when I tried to play back the timeline in Final Cut Pro at better quality, while connected to a 5K monitor, I realized it was impossible on this machine. RAM and swap memory usage spiked, the GPU maxed out, and the video just started stuttering. I had a few tabs open in Safari and Chrome, maybe 2 or 3 other apps in the background. And the computer started to heat up and thermal throttle. It became impossible to work. In the end, the only way I could get anything done with this type of footage was by using proxies, disconnecting the external monitor and closing every other app. Basically, if you want to push the MacBook Air even a little bit, it's going to fight you. And this is the base model, by the way. Now, this doesn't mean you can't edit 4K video with some effects, but you can't do it with heavy codecs and professional grading on this base model. And honestly, I'm not even sure if the peanut version with 10-core GPU and 24 gigs of RAM will make a massive difference for this specific heavy workload. And speaking of pushing this machine to its limits, let's talk about the sponsor of today's video, CleanMyMac. Look, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't set up a single Mac without this app. It's not just about cleaning junk. It's like having a dedicated tech specialist by my side, ensuring the system is always performing at its peak. When you first open the app, you get access to tools covering everything from disk cleanup to performance optimization. I usually start with SmartCare. It's a one-click scan that finds gigabytes of hidden junk, old cache files, and forgotten installers that stay buried in your system. On a machine like the MacBook Air, keeping your drive clean is the first step to ensuring it stays fast over time. But what I'm particularly obsessed with is the health monitor in the menu bar. It lets me keep an eye on all the essentials in real time: CPU load, battery health, and especially memory pressure. In my test today, you saw how quickly the RAM fills up. With CleanMyMac, being able to quit apps that are hogging my resources with just one click is a total game changer for my workflow. It gives the M5 that extra oxygen it needs when I'm multitasking between 50 tabs in a video project. My absolute favorite tool for staying organized is Spacelens. It creates a visual map of your entire drive, making it incredibly easy to see exactly what is taking up space. And if you're like me and live in the cloud, the latest version even includes cloud cleanup for your iCloud or Google Drive storage. Honestly, you'll notice the difference in your Mac's responsiveness immediately. The team at CleanMyMac was kind enough to provide a 10% discount for all of you. Just use the link in the description below to grab it. Now, back to the video. And so this got me thinking, who is this computer for? The MacBook Neo does everything else, and it does it very well. I'm talking about the usual stuff. So what does the Air give you for double the price? Because until now, this was the computer everyone was buying for the regular stuff. And so to understand that, we have to look at the MacBook Neo. With its A18 Pro chip and 8 gigs of RAM, the Neo is essentially the new MacBook Air M1. It's the baseline. It's a great machine for the basics, but it has a very clear ceiling. The MacBook Air M5 is for the professional who needs actual computational headroom. So it's not just about doing more, it's about doing it better and without friction. Just like me with my M3 Macs, it does everything I need without me even thinking about the computer. I can open every app I want, pretty much anything, with Final Cut running really heavy timelines. And that's the feeling you're buying here. So if your daily life involves managing multiple apps like Slack, Zoom, 50 browser tabs and a CRM, the Neo is going to hit the wall. Because 8 gigs of RAM plus the limited bandwidth is just not enough. You'll feel the system heavy as it constantly swaps memory to the SSD. Now, the MacBook Air M5 with its 16 gigs of RAM and 150 gigs bandwidth gives you the oxygen to multitask without seeing the beach ball. And then there's the single app scenario. Maybe you only use one heavy app, like Figma or LightCAD software. On the Neo it might run, but on the MacBook Air M5 it flies. Plus, you're getting a superior experience. The display, even at 60Hz, is noticeably better than the Neo's. It's brighter and more accurate. Plus, it's a familiar aspect ratio, while the Neo isn't as tall, which makes it a bit weird if you're used to MacBooks. Like, you'll notice it immediately. And the speakers are also clearer, so the sound is better too. So, in the end, this MacBook Air is for the person who refuses to compromise. It's for the entrepreneur who needs reliability, the student who wants a machine that will stay fast until graduation, and the creative who knows that their time is worth more than the $500 they would save by going for a Neo. As an example, I can see myself using this computer for all the admin tasks I need to on a daily basis, meetings and whatnot. But I also can do it with an iPad or the Neo. In my case, I will probably buy an iPad because of all the other things it can do as a tablet, instead of lugging around $4,000 plus heavy MacBook Pro like my M3 Macs. So the Neo is like the new appliance, the Pro is like the industrial tool, and the new MacBook Air M5 it's the professional standard for those who want the perfect balance of portability and the power to actually get work done. It's kind of tough now with the Neo. So let me know in the comments, how are you using your MacBook Air? And that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.